In a world shaped by complexity, acceleration, conflict, and uncertainty, many of our problems are no longer simply technical. They are problems of meaning, problems of identity, problems of narrative, fairness, legitimacy, trust, and lived experience. Organizations fail not only because strategies are weak, governments struggle not only because policies are badly designed. Societies fracture not only because people disagree, they struggle because the deeper interpretive structures beneath human systems are often misunderstood. This is the starting point of the Philosophical Intelligence series. Volume 1, Foundations, Theory, and Global Frameworks, introduces the conceptual foundation of philosophical intelligence as a discipline. It asks a simple but far-reaching question. What if modern systems fail because they do not understand the meaning structures they are operating inside? Philosophical intelligence is the structured ability to interpret meaning, identity, narrative, fairness, legitimacy, emotional tone, symbolic systems, and lived experience. It is not academic philosophy in the narrow sense. It is applied philosophical reasoning made operational for consulting, governance, leadership, public policy, transformation, cultural interpretation, and global systems analysis. Volume 1 provides the foundation. It explains why philosophy is not merely abstract reflection, but a practical discipline for understanding the forces that shape human behavior and collective life. It introduces the 5 core pillars of philosophical intelligence: meaning, identity, narrative, fairness and legitimacy, and lived experience. These are the layers through which people understand systems, accept or reject, change, grant or withdraw, trust, and interpret what is happening around them. The publication also introduces the 5 meta-competencies required for this discipline: conceptual clarity, narrative insight, identity reasoning, ethical and legitimacy foresight, and phenomenological awareness. These are not ordinary technical skills. They are deeper interpretive capacities. They allow a practitioner, leader, consultant, researcher, or reader to ask better questions before acting too quickly. What kind of problem are we really dealing with? What meaning is attached to this situation? Whose identity is affected? Which narrative is shaping perception? Where are the fairness burdens? Is legitimacy present, fragile, or collapsing? And what does it feel like to live inside the system being analyzed? Volume 1 also introduces the 7 core tools of philosophical intelligence. These include the issue ontology matrix, the stakeholder value map, the concept integrity test, the government's legitimacy test, the narrative meaning analysis grid, the behavioral insight ladder, and the transformation identity framework. Each tool examines a different layer of human reality. Together they create a disciplined way of interpreting complexity. Volume 1 does not replace technical expertise. It shows where technical expertise becomes insufficient. A technically correct solution can still fail if it violates meaning, identity, fairness, legitimacy, or lived experience. A strategy can be logical and still be narratively incoherent. A reform can be efficient and still be illegitimate. A transformation can be well planned and still threaten the identity if the people expect it to accept it. This is why philosophical intelligence matters. It gives readers a deeper language for diagnosing situations where ordinary categories are no longer enough. The intended audience for this publication includes consultants, researchers, public sector thinkers, policy analysts, leaders, governance practitioners, institutional designers, educators, and serious readers who wanted to understand complexity at a deeper level. It is also for those building the philosophical intelligence discipline itself. Volume 1 is the foundation. It explains the architecture. It gives the reader the conceptual map. It prepares the ground for Volume 2, where the tools, workshops, worksheets, and field methods become operational. But Volume 1 is not merely introductory. It is a foundational publication because it establishes the worldview of the entire series. It argues that human systems are meaning systems, that legitimacy is not optional, that narrative shapes action, that identity determines acceptance, that fairness governs trust, and that lived experience must be understood from inside the system, not merely measured from outside. In this sense, Philosophical Intelligence series, Volume 1 is both a theoretical work and a practical foundation. It helps readers see what is usually hidden beneath the surface of conflict, policy, transformation, and governance.
It gives the Philosophical Intelligence Institute its first complete conceptual architecture. And it invites readers into a discipline designed for a world where speed is easy, but understanding is rare. The purpose of this publication is not to simplify complexity. Its purpose is to make complexity intelligible. Because before systems can be changed, they must be understood. Before action can be legitimate, meaning must be interpreted. And before decisions can be trusted, the deeper structures of identity, narrative, fairness, and lived experience must be brought into view. This is the work of philosophical intelligence. A discipline, not a trend. A framework, not an opinion.